Promo as well.
Alright, we are live, I guess. If one of you could check that, that would be great.
We are not live yet,
Yeah, we
according
will be
to my phone.
yeah, it'll go up in a
In a
second. So
second, I guess.
yeah,
Isn't there like a delay between like us, the video, and the stream, right?
of course, yeah, it'll be about 10, 15 seconds. So
Mm.
well, later,
Oh,
later than
okay.
that. So oh, so hello everyone. Sorry about the complications.
Oh no, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, yeah, we full screen. But,
There's this weird video showing. I think it was the test video that you took, and it's
uh,
just me and you on Skype, and me just messing with the aircon there.
okay. Why is that showing
Yeah,
over
this is playing right now.
Wait, I just pulled up the other one.
there? Are we on?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
see
Are we live now?
little Steve is all the way down there at the bottom. Yeah, I see that.
Okay, we're right there.
Oh,
Oh my god, there we go. Finally. So now I can't see the chat because I've got to have my screen shared. So this is, oh my god, this is not
Just
good.
pull it up on the phone. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Sorry, everybody.
yo! Yes, we have people in the chat.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome everybody. Today we're going to be chatting about our mini Tokyo tour that we did last Friday
Yeah.
until Monday, and we'll be obviously answering your questions if we get the opportunity to. So
If we can see them.
today's joining me today is on your is going to be on your left is lovely Ali, if you've probably met a few times on here and on my channel. And on the right, we have joining us for the first time is Joel. He's the drummer
Welcome.
for Mountains if you weren't aware already. So.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
You bet. Alright, so I'm just trying to get up this chat so I can actually see what's going on. And as always, for the live stream, I have a discount code on my merchandise, and that's down below in the description. Live stream. What's it?
So apparently everyone's volume is good except for yours, Steve.
So
You should increase your mic volume
I
a
need
little
to go.
bit. Yes.
Okie dokie.
Thank you, Suzzle Remons, for that.
So that should be better now.
Yeah.
If it's too loud now, let me know. And
Everyone's just hurt their ears.
I'm sorry.
All the dogs come running.
Where should we start then? So we did
Someone's ears.
3-day tour, I should say, yeah. Well, 3.5 days of a mini tour in Tokyo. We played 2 shows, Saturday and Sunday, and we all met up on the Friday for band practice. Yeah, and an overall amazing experience. So today we're going to chat a bit about that. So if one of you guys want to get started quickly whilst I mess around trying to find
Ali, take it away.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, no, it was obviously an amazing experience. It was really fun. Playing anywhere is always a good time, but Japan especially has always been one of those places that as a teen, I guess I always dreamt of playing in Japan.
Yeah.
Just because so many cool bands came from Japan, and so many of my friends got the chance to go over there and play, and it just seemed like, I don't know, Japan was this, like the Tom Waits song, Japan, it just kind of signified really awesome place to play where people are very enthusiastic about music. And anyway, so now we've got to play it twice, and the last weekend was an amazing experience.
Yeah,
really,
for sure.
really
I totally agree. Just the music scene seems really tight knit there. Like everyone's extremely supportive, and yeah, just great to meet all these wonderful musicians that shared kind of a common theme, like playing kind of mathy music, but it's
math rock in Korea and is not really that huge.
Yeah, even where I'm from
Japan,
in the States.
And people in Japan know that kind of music, they understand it, they're not flabbergasted with whatever time signature you're playing in. It was kind of cool to go to a place where that kind of music is held in such high esteem.
Totally agree.
It's lovely to have you know, if you're playing in somewhere Korea where it's not as appreciated, it's nice to have that fresh breath of air when you go there and like, oh,
Yeah.
every band's like doing
Well,
this, but 10 times better than us.
I would say like, yeah, oh yeah, that, I mean that for sure. Yeah, it's still like the last time. It felt like we were a pop band playing with like prog bands, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Even
Yeast
though-
just went on and did a 40-minute like intricate set and blew, you know, just
Oh,
reinvented
yeah, for
music.
sure.
Then we went on with some jangly chords and like, hey, with the monkeys, let's go.
Yeah, with the monkeys of
But
the
I don't know. I
Bachelor
mean,
world.
like I would say like in Korea, it's not that it's not appreciated; it's just not known. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
big genre of music. There are a handful of bands that play it, and
True.
the people that know what math rock is are like, you know, usually like very geeky guitar tech guys, but it isn't like the average fan on the street that would know who they are. Where in Japan, it's like it's a genre of music that people accept and understand.
Exactly.
I mean, you can be a huge band playing that kind of music, you know. So yeah, it was very, very cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say a few things. So I vlogged the trip. I made a few vlog videos. My first time doing that, so it was a little awkward, but it's quite good fun. And I'm putting together.
It was nice because that was my job last time, and I
Right,
hated
right.
it. So I'm glad you did it this time.
Well, I got a reason to this time, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
So, yeah, I vlogged it all, and we took many pictures, many videos, and I've put together that at the moment. So I'm doing like Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday. I've just finished the Friday and working on the Saturday last night, so should be done fairly soon. Hopefully next
Keep your
week
eyes
sometime.
peeled.
Yeah, of course. I hope you'll enjoy that one. Yeah.
As we should say about merch as well, actually. So the
Yeah.
tape cassette that we put out after this tour, after the Japan trip and everything, we now have 5 copies left, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Nice.
They sold like
So I don't know if they did. If there are any people out there that would like to buy one, you have 5 chances, and then I doubt we can repress them because it's a hassle.
Yeah.
So if you want one, please go to our Bandcamp and buy one very quickly.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's on our Bandcamp, like you said. I don't think we got any T-shirts left. No.
We
I
still
don't
have.
know,
I still
go.
have maybe around
Yeah.
15 or 13 or something back at my house. So
Okay.
if anyone wants a
Okay.
shirt, yeah.
We haven't got around to putting on
We'll,
Bandcamp, but it's like
Yeah, there we go. Have a look at the T-shirt. There it is. Very lovely, very good, high
Very
quality,
high
very
quality.
nice, very nice.
Yeah.
It's a shopping channel.
Yeah, we'll have to put those on.
For $9.95.
We'll have to get some like do QVC style. Yeah, I guess like if we get some, we'll get some pictures and some, I don't know, we get some sexy models to model
Yeah,
for us. And we'll put those
I'll
on
do a little photo work and
Yeah.
throw them up on Bandcamp soon.
Nice.
Sweet.
Soso said he'll buy one, so very good. And
Okay, cool.
he asked, how did you guys get to play in Japan? Which is a good question, I'd say. I guess a lot of people
Okay.
are interested in
I guess since I kind of booked the tour, I can answer that question. Basically, the last time we went, we got to meet a few cool people back in 2016 or 15, whenever it was that we went last. But before that, I had been to Japan a bunch of times. So the first tour actually came about through 3 people that I knew in Japan through various ways. Some of them not even music related, just like people that I'd met. And then I contacted those 3 people, and instantly each of them booked a show for us. And then so the people that we met on the first tour, namely Sune, who runs the Amazing Friend of Mine Records, who puts out music in Japan by Delta Sleep and Tide Edit, and
just loads of bands.
just tons of
Fantastic albums,
really
yeah.
good math rock bands. Yeah,
for
he just put out a Lakes, something by Lakes as well over there.
got a
I think he
few-
mainly works as a distributor, you know.
Yeah.
So he works as that, and then if you want to go to Japan and you're not a massive band, then he can help you with the tour. So he helped us with this one, and he connected us with other interesting people in
Yeah, it
Japan's like
seems
math
like
rock scene.
yeah, they're
So
very passionate
yeah,
about the music more than the product of it. That's what the feeling I got. It's like if you got
Yeah,
good music, it doesn't matter how many people follow you. You know, if you're a good band,
exactly.
they'd be interested in you. I'd say. And we all got a
right.
few freebies, some CDs and stuff. I got.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've had this
Yeah,
one. Was great. Yvette Young acoustics
yeah.
one. Yeah. I got a few. I
nice.
installed a shelf recently, so I've got CDs on that now for the channel.
Yes.
So.
Well, I don't know if people can see your screen too well, Steve. Because it
It's
might be
tiny.
that tiny one in the
Yeah, so I
in the
I
corner.
can't
But these are
do
the ones
this
that I was
grid.
given. Mm.
Yeah.
So this is a band I played with on the first day, Agata. They were kind of very frantic math rock, but kind of very energetic and happy and like joyous.
It definitely makes
These
you feel
big
good
joyous
listening to them for
chords.
sure. Yeah, just like this big smile on your
Uh,
face whenever you're listening to it.
yeah,
So great,
exactly.
so great.
It just reminds me of those bands that like I don't know, Adivisi Shank or something, where it just seems like they're having a lot of fun and the music just sounds like
Exactly.
fun. And like even if you can't see them live. Anyway, definitely check this band out, Agatha.
So
They
good.
were amazing,
So full of energy.
so good.
Like,
And then
yeah.
also on the first day, we played with Lokto. Lokto,
Whoa,
hey, there
whoa,
we go. Look
Zane,
at
One
that.
nice.
second, man.
Snap,
I'll
snap
get mine.
beams.
No, I'm joking.
You got yours too.
It's not an arm's length.
So
Not an arm's length.
Lokto are a little bit more chilled out than Agatha, but
Yeah.
like by no means
But
boring at all.
it's
They,
that really good.
I know, they're very intricate, very nice guitar parts.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's that really nice Japanese rock you get. Like
Hmm.
it's hard to define because they take influences from a few different bands, but I got
Mhm.
that like kind of light influence and like bits that were like
A
toe
little
in
light.
places,
Bit of,
and yeah,
mhm.
they're really good. Yeah,
I think there's a certain math rock sound that is very Japanese,
Mhm.
and I don't know enough about music to explain what it is, but like
One-
you kind of when you hear it, you like know that
You'll
it's
know.
Japanese.
You'll know.
You know,
Exactly.
one
you
thing
know,
that
right?
I liked
Uh,
about the shows was just the music in between the bands was like the music that we actually listened to for once. It's like math rock, and,
Exactly.
like, so
Yeah.
that was really good.
oh,
When you set up
on
on
the
stage,
Sunday,
we were singing to colour, so that was good fun.
that was
That
the
was so
Sunday
good.
show was Color, which
Yeah.
was for me and Steve just a great walk down memory lane. And then we went to like Full Records, and dude gave me
Oh,
Delta Fleet
ditto.
Twin Galaxies album,
I don't have that
which is
one,
cool.
guys.
Oh, there we go, Steve Matches. There we
Matches.
go.
I got
I
the
want Delta Sleep.
Gulfer
Yeah,
one as well. The guy in the
Nice.
chat,
you can have my. You can have
so
my.
said
Thank you.
Gulfer got to play in Japan. Yeah, they were on
Yeah,
the
that was
friends of
through
mine
friend
thing
of
as well.
that was through
That was
Sunday.
through friends of
Yeah,
mine. Yeah,
that was
Sunday.
through friend of mine records. Yeah, yeah. And like yeah, he's just really good about supporting smaller math rock bands from around the world. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have a look at some of the questions that we got given.
Yeah, it's going through a few at the
Um,
moment. Not much activity.
mhm.
It's mostly Sussel. we got 11 people here though. Come on.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, Matthew
Throw
or
them in.
otherwise, or Japan
Music,
related.
Or if you just want to get to
Please
know us
ask.
personally,
Pop
that's
shit,
fine.
yeah.
You can any
Alright.
personal questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
says Joe.
We can answer them.
Did everyone
Um,
see the on the Sunday night we finished, and if you've been to Tokyo, it's always like you gotta get that last subway, you gotta get it. That's what everyone's trying to do. There's even an app that
Yeah.
Ko had on his phone to find like your route home on the last subways, and we went to Family Mart, and then we recreated the Forest's album cover, spending
I think we did
eternity on
really well.
Japanese convenience store. That got like about 600 likes on Instagram. I never get like anything near that, so it's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
People
Yeah,
liked it,
pretty
yeah.
cool. It was a blatant, like, desperate plea to Forrest to notice this.
Well, they're not together anymore, so. But,
No. But yeah, that was
Right,
kind
they
of
get
cool.
back
I mean,
together.
you know, it just felt like I think one day we should do like spending eternity in a Korean convenience store, and just
Yeah.
all three of us with like looks of terror on our face. It's like,
Well, we could
they
just
don't even have a good sandwich selection. Oh my
Exactly.
god!
we just take pictures outside with a bottle of soju.
That's easy. Passed out on the
Yeah,
sidewalk.
it's not like us stood there. It's just us all passed out on this, and a cop like prodding us to make sure we're okay.
Yes, I would love to do that.
Any let's
So,
questions?
what was your guys' favorite Japan moment then from this tour? It doesn't have to be music, but yeah.
Okay, this is a
Joel
random
can go
one.
first.
Okay.
Yeah,
Joel's
go
much
on.
longer than us as well, so
Is that-
he got
Yeah.
much to choose
But I'm gonna kind of try to keep it within the time that you guys were there as well.
from. Okay.
Okay.
So we can relate.
I just really enjoyed that subway ride when Ali was having an interview for a for a company, and it was just
Ridiculous.
amazing. Yeah, it was
It's a
like
mixture
Ali,
of
so
being-
quick-witted.
Being drunk and tired.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I was sat one side of the subway, and the rest of the group was sat the other side, and it felt like an interview. So we just did a mock interview for the whole subway ride
It's
home.
just one guy
I-
sat next to Ali, just like passed out.
Passed out.
All his stuff fell on the floor.
Where is that? I wonder if we saw that picture somewhere.
A classic Japanese salary man, I think, kind of asleep
Yeah.
on the
I
subway
mean-
ride home. But yeah, it's like saying in Japan, it's kind of too expensive to get a taxi anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want to miss the last subway, yeah, or you're walking home.
For me,
basically.
the best memory I had was, I think it was the second show, and I just saw people in the crowd like singing some of our songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty
Mm.
amazing.
It wasn't people that like we'd been hanging around with. It's just people that actually come to see us. I was like, wow, it's the first time that I'd say someone has come to watch a show where I didn't know them and they're singing
Yeah.
our songs. So I was like, wow,
Very true.
I felt good. And actually
Well,
on the
see-
Friday, on the Saturday show, sorry too, but a few people came to say hi. They bought merch and we signed a couple of T-shirts. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Our
Yeah.
rock star moment.
For me, it
yes.
was like I was kind of like, are they here to see us or did they come to meet me? So I wasn't sure. Like not to sound.
As-
Like
yeah,
famous
we're,
or
it's,
something like
we're just kind of like off on the side in the corner, and Steve just over
Yeah.
that. No.
We
just
did
kidding.
think about renaming it, like, you know, Steve in the Mountains. You know, that's good.
Steven. that's
Steven's
fine.
Mountain.
No, but,
It looks like there are a few questions in here.
Okay,
let's have a look.
There we go.
What we got.
do you have tips to write more interesting
There we
music
go.
without ending up just getting super technical with your instruments to sound more interesting? Ooh, that is a very, very good question.
That's got a lot of layers. to it as
What's
well.
that username? I gotta love spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I mean-
You gotta love spaghetti.
Gotta
Yeah,
love that
that's a
And
great
I
username.
do love me some spaghettis. That's for sure.
I think just like songs
Steve,
that,
take that first.
yeah, in a nutshell, because it's quite hard to go into all of that. I'd say like knowing your theory and not letting that take control of the thing that you're writing. So let it what would be the word? Influence, not influence, but you know what I mean, a synonym of influence. what your what's coming out basically. You know, it's art, isn't it? Really. So you know, if it hasn't got art in it, then it's not really that good, is it? So
Yeah.
I think also bearing in mind like when you write a part, are you playing what you're playing for the sake of showing off,
Exactly.
or does it actually like
for
fit
sure.
the song? Does it actually work with what
Is
you're
it-
you're
is it-
trying to do?
Is it you as well? You
Yeah.
know, like, you know, is it like,
As you want to have your
Right,
personality
yeah.
in the music, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, you
self-expression,
know,
isn't it?
there's-
It's art, so
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's just like, you know, I feel that like that it's very easy to get like technically good at playing an instrument. Like the question is like, do you want to always do that? Like, do you have to do that all the time?
But there are
um,
bands that
you
do
know-
technical and make it really, really interesting and musical. So
Mm.
that's another thing. But
Sure, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
you can do that by
It's
yourself, but it's easier to
mm.
do it with other musicians, I'd say. Yeah.
I mean, I think of a band like Invalids, who to me sound very, very technical
Mm.
because they're playing a lot of notes, but there is still like a very poppy kind of catchy element to
Music
their
Yeah.
stuff.
to it, yeah.
So they kind of they rein it in, perhaps by maybe like having the restraint of a time signature or a beat. Like we play a lot of music in 4/4, but then there's like a lot of technicality like
Yeah, that is.
underlying that, you know.
Yeah, like I say, it's a very hard question because you can point to so many examples of like bands that do technical stuff that works like
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
melodically, and if it's not even if it's melodic, but it's like there's something about it that draws you to it. So,
Mm.
but his problem is
I mean,
saying
we look at
he's running into all. It sounds like he's getting. So it sounds like he's always ending up with stuff that sounds super technical, which is not really a bad problem to have.
no.
Because I wish I could write super technical all the time. But just think more
Yeah.
about the harmony as well that's underlying what you're playing. So think of a good chord progression, a catchy chord progression, and then build something technical around that. And you're guaranteed to, people will like it that way.
Mhm.
Just take a
Sure.
pop punk chord progression and make it technical.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what you gotta
Hey.
do.
That's my philosophy.
There's Susso says don't overthink it. It's I guess
Yeah, exactly. You don't
Yeah.
just
That's it, right? You just kind of
just feel it.
play the music that you
You got a
play
question for Joel.
music that you feel.
Oh.
What size shells
Okay.
do you play?
The EP was recorded on a 22-inch bass drum, 14-inch snare drum, a 12-inch rack tom, and a 16-inch floor tom.
And that was the most interesting thing ever.
And thank you guys. I'll just be leaving. Thank you.
The snare on that recording, my friend pointed out, it sounds quite dark, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was mixed that way, but
Yeah, I didn't have it tuned as tightly as I normally play live. As I didn't want it to be too ear-piercing and cracky.
yeah.
Wanted it to be a little bit more of a full sound, and I think that was achieved. I'm happy with it.
Right, yeah, that EP definitely sounds much warmer than our previous ones, definitely. And I think the drums kind of come into that, and
Yeah.
Do you normally prefer playing with bigger shells, or
No,
do you
so
have
like
a preference?
the drum set that I grew up, that I had back in the U.S. was pretty much the same size, except I was using I had two rack toms actually, a 10-inch and a 12-inch, but still a 16-inch floor tom, and then I just kind of like progressively changed. I always change out different drums and stuff, so sometimes I use like a 10-inch and a 14-inch, just depends on kind of what kind of sound I'm going for. If I want something a little bit more lively, then I use a little bit smaller shells, but if I want something a little bit warm and full, then I use bigger. Yeah. And
We have a question here. Being a three-piece, do you guys ever play to a backing track? Do you guys do stuff on the record like playing synthesizers that you cannot play on? Do we have any synths on our record?
No.
I didn't do anything.
It's all real.
The
All
EP,
right, yeah.
like I stated when I was pre-tour with Ali, it is very much just like how we kind of sound in a live situation, if anything, just slightly tweaks, because it is just like, I had went into the studio, Joel did the drums in 1 or 2 takes for every song, playing along to my scratch track or whatever in the headphones, and then Ali did his bass parts. So actually the only texturing parts on that album is Ali's your bass line, like double parts.
Sure.
Right? Like,
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, there's like two bass lines over almost everything on that. So unless we got a second bass player, then that's the only way that we can play that kind of stuff.
pretty much.
So there is two.
No drop
there's two bass lines.
Yeah, 2 bass lines in place. No
No,
drop-ins,
I think
so it's just
the
all
only-
one free. one phrase all the way through, right?
The only thing that we did that like we can't do live is all the vocal harmonies. I feel like that's the one where we
Yeah.
get stuff. Because Stephen did a lot of vocal harmonies on it. We also had people coming in and doing
Yeah,
gang
true.
chants and stuff.
But apart from
And
that, yeah.
I can't really sing, so when we do it live, we have to drop out a lot of melody like lines, a lot of vocal
and
lines. You
there
know.
is zero auto tune on any of the vocals as well. So go lightly on that. But the album before, Tenses, is way more produced. It's got, you know, trumpets, multiple guitar parts, multiple bass parts, lots of vocals. Vocals are auto tunes, and all the harmonies and stuff also. So yeah, we're thinking about hopefully doing another EP with 4 songs, and
Yeah.
we're gonna try and record it, and this time send it to Ali's friend again, who did the Tenses album mixing and mastering.
We're gonna try and do this one remotely, I guess.
Yes,
like
we've got the setup to do
Joel
so,
in Vietnam and us in Korea.
It's
Yeah,
possible.
we're gonna try and give that a go.
So that's some exciting news for you. I know we've only just released,
Yeah.
released an EP, but yeah.
It's good to keep it.
Exactly. Just got all this
out.
music flowing through us, you know. You got to get it out there.
So
one
we
thing I was
have
gonna
another
say-
question from.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, go for it.
No, because Joe was saying about his kit and stuff. Like, how good was the equipment in the rehearsal room? Like, there were
in Japan in general, I guess.
It was amazing.
You're seeing
yes.
the vlog I'm making, like what you can rent.
It's a weird thing that like even in the practice space, the gear was better than I would like half of the venues in Korea.
Yeah, for sure.
Like most of the places that we play in Korea have like, you know, small stuff, like you know, people don't really care, especially as the drummer and the bass player. It's kind of like the 2 instruments that people traditionally don't see as being that important. Like, you know, like they replace us with backing, like a laptop sometimes,
exactly.
you know. And so it's like the guitarist gets a decent-ish amp, and the bass player and the drummer get kind of like old,
hand-me-downs,
battered,
like
worn
things
shit.
that have been left by
exactly.
other musicians, things like that.
And then we went to this practice space, and sure, we're paying more for it, you know, than
totally
you would
worth it.
normally,
It's
but
pricey, but
totally worth it.
I had a
Like
jazz
the
chorus,
PA
so I was happy.
system.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can finally hear it
The
when you were
bass
singing.
amp was like 8x10s as well.
Yeah,
I
it was like
think.
that huge Ampeg.
Yeah.
Right,
It
with
was
the
Agent
PV
Red
head
asked
and
that question. He's
I think I was playing like
Trying
the
into-
Pearl Master series drums. Like I've never played a kit that nice.
Yeah.
Like it was awesome.
It is kind of like the standard of music in Japan is so nice to be a part of as well. Like we went to the Sunday show and there was the sound guy, but there was a stagehand as well.
Yeah.
And it's like even the smallest, like it wasn't a huge venue. It was maybe like 300 capacity venue at most, and yet they still had an amazing PA, very good monitors, like a stagehand to help you with
very
everything,
professional,
like
yeah.
high quality.
To
Very,
write
very.
down your
like-
songs and what you wanted for each song, your lighting and all that kind of stuff. It was really in detail. Like,
Yeah, we had
it's
some
pretty
paperwork
wild.
to do beforehand, right?
And all the bands are probably
then, like, yeah, in Korea, and
professional as well. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
To
put on a
answer
show.
Agent Red's question, sorry.
Oh, he said
Go on,
Joel should
Steve.
get a 28-inch bass drum for his kit. You'd totally get everyone's attention.
Finally take some attention away from Ali.
10 4 by 10 guys. I think I need them. We need them to compete with Ali.
Yeah, so true. No, I would love to get a 28 inch.
In conclusion, I'm not too loud. Just turn up.
Ali he said, Red said, grow 2 extra arms to play 2 bass lines at the same time.
Come on, Ali, you haven't thought of that yet? Jeez, man.
Oh man, I could get one of those, like, you know, we were going around the music shops and they had those instruments with 2, like a guitar and a bass on the same thing. I don't know what they call, but like Cheap Trick had one of those things, right? Fucking horrible, so bad.
Imagine how heavy they are.
But yeah, I could get one of those with like 2 bass lines. Yeah, exactly. Just one with a normal bass and one with like an octave bass, and I can just do everything.
Well, I feel like in
Nah, that would
Japan
be
we could just
horrible.
find a robot to like maybe play one of the bass lines, right?
Yeah. we can do that.
Speaking of music shops, like just Japan, the Tokyo and music stores, like oh my god, so good. Yeah, on the Saturday we went to was it Okanamizu? I think that's how you say it, Okanamizu. I'm pretty sure that's right. It's like it's a financial district actually, because I looked it up, but they have this famous second-hand guitar street, and it was just like lots and lots of stores selling second-hand guitars, and not really many pedals, a lot of new pedals, right? It wasn't so many second-hand ones, but it's really great to see. I actually went there on Monday before I went, to the airport. I got there at like 10:30, and there's a few places open, so I went there, but I couldn't find anything. So like I brought a fair bit of money back with me. It's in the end.
Well, I managed to get
Speaking
I
of
don't know,
pedals,
hold it the whole thing, but like I managed to get this noise compressor second hand
Nice.
for I think like what was it, $50
less than
equivalent?
that, I guess. Yeah.
So that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Polytune
There was so
the new
many.
tuner as well.
Yeah, that was really
$60, $70, something like that.
There was so many boss
I
pedals.
could have easily spent more.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I could have easily spent much more money. The music stores in Japan just had like a huge selection. The one place I think to recommend if anyone goes is the place we went to in, was it Shinjuku, the Idaibashi music store.
Yeah.
And Joel wasn't. Joel, you weren't with us at the time. But me and you and we went to this place in Shinjuku, and it's like if you Google music stores Tokyo, it's kind of the first one that comes up.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
And it's a little hard to find because the signs are all in Japanese. But once you get into the building, like it's kind of obvious. It's on the second floor.
I picked up.
And then they had that massive array of pedals and like second-hand and used pedals for really cheap and old vintage stuff, and could have easily spent all of my money in there.
I picked up.
Nice.
I don't know, the equalizer. It's going to be backwards in it, but I don't know. The cable's not long enough, but this compressor is so good. Got that second the CP1X. That's like the high-end Bostaph. It's really nice.
Nice.
Good compressor.
Yeah, no, it was just kind of a dream. I think if you'd had more time and more money and just
a lot of
gone
time was
around
wasted
to all the
because,
districts.
Yeah, on the Saturday show, my guitar kept cutting out because the jack had come loose on it. So I tried to get it fixed, and we went to the one place, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll fix it for you," and he was trying to fix it, and he couldn't get the the nut to come loose on it. So then he like phoned up another dude. He's like, "All right, this guy around the corner, he's like the level up. He's gonna fix it for you for the same price." And we went round there, and he fixed it. But you'll see about
but
that
they were,
in the vlog, ever so
and
nice.
they were all like, they were both very nice. Yeah, right. They were
Super
really
nice,
cool guys.
It's just everyone in Japan.
Yeah, really
super
wanted to
nice.
help us out.
Yeah.
So we had really good experiences. And Ente Isa asks, how did our mini pedal rigs hold up?
Yeah. The pedal boards were. They were great. Yeah.
It was fine. I added to mine like whilst we were there as well. I bought a little Tube Screamer mini and put that into the rig as well.
Yeah. I got
but
the
yeah, it was,
Polytune and changed that out for the Boss TU2. It's on its way out. So Ali had that for about 3 or 4 years, I guess, before me. And it's
you gotta sell that on.
Yeah, I just keep it. It's not worth anything, I think. Because TU3 out now.
So another question from Ente was there a band you played with that you didn't know that you really clicked with?
Yeah, probably the lingua franca at the end.
Yeah, they're all really cool.
Yeah, they put on a good show. I'm not sure if I'd listened to them. I've not actually checked out any. He gave me the CD, didn't he? But I haven't got a CD drive, so who has these days, right? So.
Yeah, we played the headlining band on the Sunday, Lingua Franca, and I think like they're kind of mathy, I guess.
Yeah, they have like mathy elements, yeah, for sure.
Right, a little bit of indie, a little bit of rock and roll going on, but they put on like a really good show,
They just had this.
and
It was very, very
like
tight, very well rehearsed. You could tell they've been playing
Oh
for a
yeah,
long time.
say
And like this, like they had,
yeah,
and they've put on a good show. Like the parts where they like the song fell apart and they all lay on the floor, and then like suddenly like you don't know when the count's gonna come back in, but it was like literally like they had to look for him
yeah,
to hit the cymbals, but they all like bong, like the second hit the
yeah,
cymbals, it was like
it was tight.
it's tight, super tight. I was
And
like,
it was like a minute of like silence, and everyone just kind of like, what do we do? Do it.
it was at the end of the song.
is everyone dead? Is this it? Okay. So, yeah.
No, it's a fantastic show, yeah, for sure.
No, right.
Yeah.
Like you could tell there was a little bit of theatrics going on, but it worked. It worked. It was really nice.
I mean, I really got on with Locto and Agata as well. Like I had never met these guys before and never talked to them online either. So like meeting them in person was awesome, and I really got to know Ko from Agata really well, and Yoichi from Locto. Yeah,
those two boys
fantastic
were
guys.
very good.
I wish I took a picture with him because I was trying to find one today for the vlogs. If you guys have got one, you could send one over. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might have some pictures.
Because when you Google Yoichi or like Locto, there's like no pictures. So. I know it's got Instagram, but there's nothing really usable on there either. So.
But yeah, both bands. That was like I think the best bands that we saw that weekend. Last weekend was Agata and Locto.
Yeah, the bands we played with on the Saturday show were more to what the style we play.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's like some of the bands on Sunday, they had kind of like a Strokes kind of sound, like one of the bands, some of them. And like some like classic rock style. They covered like some Beatles and stuff.
The
like
first two bands, right? And then it was very that two-piece with the guy and the girl drummer.
Just like quite heavy music.
They were crazy as well.
Yeah, it was also a great performance. Like everyone like played really well, just different styles of music. The caliber of musicianship was really great.
It just doesn't. No matter what style they were playing, they were just like really good at it. It's like, damn.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So tight with it.
I think because the standard of music in Tokyo or in Japan in general, but probably Tokyo, is so high. You have to be amazing before you even like come out of your practice room. Like you can't just you can't just write 4 songs and be like, I'm ready to play. We got 4 songs. Yeah, like with when Mountain started, our very first show. Yeah, our very first show was we had 4 songs, and there was so few bands. Like the standard in Korea is kind of lower. And there aren't as many bands, so with 4 songs we were asked to play. Like we were like, hey, you guys, like you must have a set, like let's go. But in Japan, awesome. it's so much more higher, and you have to practice like your stage performance as well as your music. Like you can't just be good at music. Yes, like your music can't be the only thing. Yeah, you also have to have a good stage presence.
Yeah, good show. You gotta be super tight because like you see what the competition's like there. And if you go like half-assed, you're not gonna do well. Like I'd say.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I practiced loads before we went, and like if we hadn't all done that, I think we would have struggled even more than we did. So.
So true. Right. Very true.
If you ever go to Japan, practice for sure.
A lot. Yeah.
Agent Red says that I have to be clean shaven. Since Joel is also team clean shave.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
It's never going to happen.
I can start growing my beard a little bit more.
Looks like you got stubble.
Yeah, I got something going on.
Bless. Both of you, bless, with your stubble. They will take my beard from me from my cold, dead chin. Okay, Jay Bruno asks, do we like marmosettes? I don't know who marmosettes are. Who are marmosettes?
I don't know either, so the answer is incomplete.
So the answer is maybe.
I like the name. Sounds cool.
It's a cool animal. Yes. What are they like? Jay? Tell us.
Yeah, it's with the time difference at the moment, it's very early morning in America, so we're not getting a lot of people, I'd say, at the moment. Yeah. So we need more people from Europe to join. Where is everyone from anyway? I'm interested. If you're from America, you're up nice and early for us, so I appreciate that. I think on the East
I'm
Coast,
from England.
I think the East Coast is what time now? Probably about like 8, 9 a.m. I think like
I don't even know what time it is in Florida. And
that.
my, my family lives there.
Is
I don't know.
that where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Florida.
Let's
So
Google
if
this.
anyone's from Florida, shout out.
Uh-huh. What was the math rock scene like in Florida, Joel?
I mean, so when I was living in Florida, so it's been
7 o'clock in LA.
yeah.
7
Okay,
a.m.
yeah. So that was like 4 years ago that I lived in the States, and I was more into like the metalcore scene. So like I didn't hear of any math rock bands when I was playing around. Only metal, man.
It's all metal in Florida. It's where Trivium are from.
Yeah, it's a lot of metal, a lot of pop punk. So yeah, I was like the scene in Florida is pretty good. Like there's a ton of bands, but just not a lot of math rock. It's just mostly pop punk and metal.
Like if you're like in like a certain city in Florida, it's like yeah, we're playing this city, but then it's like a 6 or 7 hour drive just to get
Exactly, yeah. So like I was in bands and we did like tours just through Florida,
just through Florida
because it was so big. Yeah.
Is that bigger? Is it bigger than Korea? I guess so, right?
I mean, yeah, I think it's longer. Like it takes a while to get from one point down to like Key West. But yeah,
I think there must be states, and there are definitely states in the States that are bigger than the UK, like by far. I mean, Texas and California, probably Florida
absolutely,
as well,
yeah.
that are bigger than England. So it's like for us, for me and Steven, touring for us has always been like a very easy thing because you go around the UK or you go around Korea, and like you can be in another city in a couple of hours actually. If you get the high-speed train here in Korea, but like in the States, touring the States,
it
just seems like
drive
mission.
one day to get to another state.
So I guess you do like different like West Coast tour or East Coast tour or something.
Exactly. Yeah. It seems like a lot of bands I don't really do like a full US tour because I mean they would be doing that for.
So when TTNG
months.
went there, and it's just like on their Instagram, it's like the next show is like 9 hours away, and they're just driving like 9 hours.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But like, because I think that's the part like a lot of people don't see of the tour, right? It's like being super tired, trying to keep motivated, and like drinking all the time, and like.
Exactly.
It'll get to you eventually.
It's actually been one of the nice things about like being back is that like the 3 or 4 days that we were in Tokyo, we kind of had to be like on personality wise and personal wise like for the whole time because we're meeting all these new people and of course you want to be personal and stuff, but like personally I'm not a very outward going guy most of the time, so I kind of had to put on an outward face. Yeah, exactly. Like I had to put that on for 4 days and it was exhausting, and then I got back and I spent a few days actually apart from work not really speaking to anyone and just been a chance to like not drink and not speak to people all the time and
recompress a little bit.
yeah, exactly. Sleep more as well.
The sleep really caught up with me. Like it's just tired. I had to work Thursday, Friday, yesterday.
Oh,
today.
nice.
And I was just like, oh god, this sucks. So I was falling asleep.
I think this is a question. This is a question for you, Steve. Well, how do you guys deal with homesickness on top? Well, I mean, we're all away from home technically because we're expats living in foreign countries. But Steve, have you ever considered taking your wife and kid on tour?
Interesting question.
Yeah. Oh, I was saying that when I come back this time, it would be nice to go because Joe went with his girlfriend, right? So
yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So I mean, it would be different because of my son. So
yeah,
true.
Yeah, I'd like to do England, that's for sure, because I'm familiar with it. In that case, like, and then one day
I think
the States would be good as well.
There are definitely a lot of bands that do that, though, right? They tour with their, take their kids along.
Significant other,
significant other along as well. And I guess it'd be a nice way to like ground you a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Because the one thing about like when you're on tour is you play the show and all of these people are kind of amped to meet you and they're excited to meet you and they want to take you out for dinner and drinks and so which is great, thank you, like, and then we'll go. But then you so you suffer for it the next day. So maybe like
Yeah.
if you were there with
Of
your
course,
kid,
yeah.
you'd be like, okay, this is fun, but like, yeah, I gotta go back to the,
How
wherever.
I would see it is like,
I gotta take
yeah, let's do
the kid
stuff.
down.
Let's do stuff in the day, and then I'll go and play the
Mhm.
show, and then that would be it. You see, so
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
that's kind of like what Margot and I did. Yeah, we would like go do
That's
some
true,
things
yeah.
during the day, then we'd
Well, with
go get some little Totoro cream puffs, and then go play a show. You know.
well, with
it's,
Tokyo, you haven't got much choice anyway, because like you finish the show, let's go for a drink. Oh, you got like 10 minutes.
It's like, and trains here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, right.
because if you think about it, like,
We had one show.
we were already tired enough and stuff, and then we drank, and then we managed to get back for like 12 or 1 a.m. or something
Exactly.
like that. But if it was Korea, we would have been out just because if there was no limit on the time, we would have been out much later. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, we were just like really excited to be there.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, no, homesickness is not really a thing. Like I don't know. I miss my bed,
Yeah,
of
true.
course,
Yeah.
but
That's about it. Yeah.
you know, you miss your home comforts and stuff. But it's just like I say, like touring Japan has always been my dream, and like yeah, going and doing it, I can deal with the minor annoyances of
Of
having
course,
to be,
'cause
you know, friendly
being
for 4
there
days.
is what you want to do, right? So it's ever so much
Yeah.
fun. Like,
And
really
Tokyo is just an amazing city. Like,
yeah,
it's,
I can't
it's
believe
fantastic.
it's like such a gigantic city, but it's like it's just not congested at all. There's
Yeah.
no traffic, and it's just
I was just
wild.
going from there, then like flying back to Ho Chi Minh the next day. Like, just like
Must have destroyed,
what is happening?
destroyed your mind.
It was crazy. I was like, I live
But yeah,
I
it's
live in
just like-
Da Nang, so it's a little bit quieter. Like I thought Da Nang was a little bit crazy, but then I saw Ho Chi Minh, and I was like, take me back. Yeah.
And that's it. Tokyo, like, what is it, 10 million people
Yeah,
in
it's like
there?
10 million or
Super quiet, super clean, super organized. Yeah,
Just-
it's just
just a great
like,
city.
nice place to be and visit. Yeah. So we're just gonna dick suck on Tokyo now.
It is good.
Mhm.
That's the Tokyo. Nice. That's the slogan.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah, yeah, it's good fun. And I was gonna say again, we were worried about taking our guitars and stuff on the plane because they were a bit arsy about that sometimes. So my experience was I got to my airline and they're like, you know, you can't take that on board. It's too long. I'm like, oh no, not this. So I said, you know, I've taken it before. It hasn't been a problem. You know, I went to Japan the first time, and I went to Taiwan, and it wasn't a problem. I just took it on the plane both times. This time the lady was adamant that I couldn't take it on the plane, so in the end I was like, well look, I can take the neck off it, put it in half, and then it meets the requirements for hand luggage. So she was like, okay, do that. So went up to the post office upstairs, got a screwdriver, the two lovely chaps helped me out there. Put it in half, go back down. She's like, oh, sorry, you didn't actually have to do that. And I was like, oh, great. So on the way back, I just walked up to the desk, and she's like, here's your ticket. Didn't say a thing. And I got on the plane, no one said a thing. So it's like, and then yeah, Ali said, you said they asked about it on the way back, did they? Or
On the way back, it was just a very busy flight.
Yeah.
So they said they might have to make it like they weren't going to make me check it in. They might have had to make it cabin baggage. But as it turns out, I went in and like I found a spot because it's a very thin instrument. It doesn't, like, even the bass doesn't exceed the cabin length, so you can kind of just slip it on the top. Even if there's like luggage in there, sometimes you can just kind of slip it in. The only thing is like not to take those big thick mono bag cases, the ones with super padding and stuff.
yeah.
Like they would exceed and they'd be too big.
yeah.
But if you can get one of those very thin travel bags for your guitar or your bass or whatever, and then just kind of put
use a hard case.
your pedals in your
Yep.
yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. If you're gonna check it in, take your hard case because it will get battered, it will get trashed around. If you're gonna do that, for sure.
Yeah. So I think.
And then just put your pedals in your rucksack or your backpack or whatever. easier way
It's
to
just
do
funny.
it.
They scan it all, and you got all these pedals going through, and you're like, I glanced at the X-ray, and it's just like it looks like a bomb, like all like wires and stuff like that. So
That's
how
how
do
I
they know?
always feel. Like I always bring like a lot of like camera equipment and stuff, and have like all my
Yeah,
cords and
right.
everything. And it's just like there's like 2 canisters of film, and there's like a wire. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, film cameras always look like the most
Exactly.
like homemade bomb. Like I'm just bringing a homemade bomb in. Yeah, don't worry. But I guess they must be used to, they must have seen it. So
Exactly.
it's like
Yeah.
they know the difference between the wiring in a pedal, in an effect pedal, and
They
like
have
what
to know,
actually
right?
could be a bomb.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, stuff kind of went through, and there was actually no problem. The only problem with with touring as a foreign band is that you kind of need special visas, like a performance visa,
True.
or especially if you're going to make money off your merch, they're wary about that. And it doesn't really apply to us because we're a smaller band, but it's still something to be aware of. Like if you are going to go travel somewhere,
Yeah.
Yeah,
try and
I did get
try and take your flights slowly, or like be separate in the immigration, and like
Have a story
don't give
prepared
them-
to tell immigration if
don't
you
give-
need to.
have a exactly, yes.
I'm here
Like,
to play
settle down.
guitar
Let me
with my
tell you a
friends.
tale of why I have my guitar. I'm a bard. Just here to play my
So
way.
I had like
No, just
20
like,
shirts
yeah.
in my suitcase. Like
Yeah,
20 of the same shirt. Like
Yeah.
if they asked me anything, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna give my friends some shirts. I don't
Yeah, I was gonna wear these 20
Yeah.
shirts.
know.
For me, I had some
I have
shirts.
I have my style.
I had shirts in my bag, like all wrapped up, and they had like masking tape round with like
Yeah.
S written on it for small. So there's about 10 of those in like a clear, like Ziploc bag. And then I got to walk through the customs part. I was like, please don't stop me, please don't stop me. And then he waves me over, and I'm like, oh no. And he's like, can I check your bag? I was like, oh shit, here we go. And then he didn't even check the guitar, so the guitar's there. He opens the bag, he picks out all of these shirts, he just puts them down, doesn't look at them, and just checks in my bag. And then he shows me this thing. It's like, do you have any of these things? And I'm like, no. It's like, okay. And it's like, you just didn't notice the 10 shirts you just took out my
That's
bag
awesome.
that the same color. And
I don't think.
suspiciously
Yeah,
have S
I think
written
I think they care less about like a little bit of merchandise and more about foodstuffs and
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
narcotics,
Or like,
massive amounts of drugs and nicotine and
yeah, like
Yeah.
all the pictures. So do you have any of these? Oh yes, I have these.
I have this one and this
This
one.
one's bingo.
Okay, we have a question from Agent Red here as well. A loaded question, perhaps, but do we feel like we might get looked down upon as being a band, being foreigners in a band from another
From another
country?
country.
Are we accepted well?
Yeah.
Do people care?
It was funny. We were saying when we're on stage,
kind of
it's
stuff.
like, because every poster that we played on a Saturday and Sunday, it said like mountains from Korea, and then I guess most people,
Right,
Japanese
none
people,
of us are Korean.
we're expecting Korean people. So Ali kept saying like, we're from Korea, but we're not Korean. You know, like, I found it
Right.
funny. But,
There was somebody at the second show who had been practicing some Korean words, and then when he saw us, was like, "Oh wait, you guys aren't actually Korean." But yeah, like for your question, it's kind of strange because there's two sides to that. One is like when we play in Korea, where we live and we know the language and stuff, but we're still expats. We're an expat band,
expat kind of
and
band,
the
yeah.
stereotype of an expat band is like a cover band, like a band that isn't that important or doesn't need to be paid attention to. So there's that, and we deal with that. That's fine. And then the second one is like when we go to another country, and on the poster, it says like mountains from Korea, but like we're not Korean, and then the expectations are, I don't know, can be a little bit weird, but
No one's ever voiced
other
any...
than like amusing,
Yeah.
it's just like an amusing
Yeah, I think it's
misunderstanding.
more
Like
funny. Yeah.
the promoters and the venue, right? Promoters in the venue know we're not Koreans, Like it's just audience members that might be
Yeah.
expected something,
Well, it
and
says
oh, you're not
mountains
actually
from Korea, but
Korean,
not Korean. That's what it says.
Next tour, we're gonna like explain a little bit further.
Has like an asterisk.
yeah,
down
exactly. Just on all our tour
not
posters.
Korean.
So we did our sound check, our second show. Then like one of the bass players or guitarists from one of the other bands, like looked at our little pass or whatever. It said mountains. It's like mountains. Like yeah. It's like from Korea. Like yeah, just not Korean. Yeah. I did like this funny little things.
Mountains from Korea, but not Korean.
Yeah.
Just
That's gonna be the next shirt actually.
Hey,
But then we have to keep it going. Like not that there's anything wrong with being Korean.
Exactly.
We're just not Korean, but we are from Korea.
you expect it to be
Just keep it going.
It's very Monty Python.
just digging a
Yeah.
bigger hole. Nuriel's here, so hello. Joseph.
Hello.
Joseph.
Hi.
You told me last time how to say his name, and I'm really sorry because I'm too ignorant to learn it. So there we go. Yeah.
I think
What's
that's
up? We're all good?
mine and Joel's job is to to read
like
names
Ali said,
properly.
he's the name reader. So, yeah. So I guess more people will be joining, but I guess we'll be going soon.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
about an hour.
About almost an hour. Yeah. So I think I can't see the time on the chat. So.
It's about 20 past 11 now.
Yeah.
Well, it's only 9:18 here, guys.
Yeah, no, yeah, in Vietnam.
I'm staying on.
Vietnam staying up.
Keep it going, keep it going.
The Joel Show.
The Josh.
Let's talk about Joel.
Let's talk.
Let's talk about Joel. What is up with that devilishly handsome face?
Stop.
If
You're too
you
kind.
got any questions about like math rock drumming or bass or anything like that whilst Joel and Ali are here, I think that would be a good time to get a question in. And let us know if
Don't know
you want
much.
any kind of band style videos from us, like if we can do something for my channel, or or just if it's too hard to organize with Ali and Joel, just videos of Ali and videos with Joel.
Yeah.
Did everyone watch Joel's
I-
drum playthrough of Apellion?
Yeah.
I haven't
I
actually
think I was
put
actually
I did. I
wearing
watched
this
it.
shirt. Yeah.
I haven't actually put Ali's bass one up yet. I just realized it was pretty swamped.
I was about to say, like, hey, where's my bass video,
The
man?
bass, yeah, sorry, man. It's coming, I need
Yeah.
to tab it still. Sorry, it's coming soon. Because I know
Ah, yeah,
I'll
that's
put
going
it-
to
I'll
take a
put it
while.
up.
It's going to take a while.
I'll put it up, and then the first comment would be like bass tabs.
Tabs,
Yeah, tabs. Yes. So
Like, it's a playthrough video. Just watch it. Just look at the video.
Just look at the
Look at the video.
do the minus.
Look at my hand,
0.5.
like-
slow it down. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. I mean, it's a complex bass line, but it's not that hard to just watch the video and
No.
like.
Nuriel
Yeah,
says he
definitely.
just came to
I'm not
keep his
Flea.
attendance sheet. His tick on. Oh,
No, that's
so
cool.
good. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can do some drum videos with Joel in the future.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
would be nice.
definitely.
I'm trying to pretend like I know things about math rock drums.
That's what I do. I do the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
I was gonna say, so like, I guess people might be interested in what we're gonna do in the future. So I think, like I said,
I think there was a question about if we wanted to tour Korea. Is
tour
that-
Korea, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've done that a few times.
Well,
Yeah, so we've played a lot in Korea.
yeah, exactly. I think it'd be nice to do it again, but now it's kind of nice to do these away trips.
agreed.
I think it's fun. It's more fun for all of us
Yeah.
as a band, but also like you say, we've played in Korea a lot, so there's that, and it would just be nice to like we haven't been to Hong Kong yet. Hong Kong has been like on our list, and we've been trying to do it for years and just could never find the time. So there's that. The south of Japan, we really want to do, like the Kansai region, Osaka and Kyoto. Taiwan, we'd love to go back to Taiwan again. Maybe come to Southeast Asia. I know, Singapore and Indonesia, Malaysia have decent math rock scenes, and it would be really nice to come and see all of those places and play with some new bands.
For sure.
So I think before we do Korea again, unless something happens, then the focus will be other places in
Yeah.
Asia.
It's,
Because it is just much more fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, than anywhere else. So, yeah.
and hopefully, like I mentioned earlier, we're trying to another EP as well soon.
Yep.
So yeah, looking forward to that one. I think we can do a really
Yeah,
good
for
job
sure.
of that. So
Yeah.
It's going to be like it's going to be new songs, but then a few reworkings of old songs,
Yeah.
like we did with Cherry Pick, which is, it's really
And I
nice
think
to
if
do
we
like that.
if we do it remotely, we'll have a little bit more time to just kind of take our
Of course,
time and
yeah,
really
listen
make them
back
the
and
best possible
tweak
songs.
stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, we did get one question
absolutely.
from Nuriel. He said,
Mm.
what was it again? So last time I said about Chun, like that the drumming kind of what keeps it math rock for me anyway. So what kind of drumming techniques make something mathy? Guess I don't know if you know, Joel, but
I mean, I have, I guess my own opinions on what math rock drumming is, because like it's very subjective. There isn't one style of playing that makes it math.
yeah, of course.
I think like one characteristic is following more of the intricacies of the guitar and bass parts.
Yeah,
Just
that's
being able to
definitely-
follow those and try to highlight them a little bit more in the playing, rather than just playing like a straight groove through
Is
one of
if
those
you-
intricate parts.
So if you imagine Chun with like a really straight, simple,
Yeah,
just a
it's-
regular
it-
rock
it'd be-
drum beat, it would sound incredibly different, I'd say.
It'd be very different, and not to say it wouldn't sound good. It would just be very different and wouldn't be Chun. So
it wouldn't be Chun. So
like the style of music that we play, like I do add a lot of more straight rock beats, but we also have a lot of parts that are just kind of like jamming on chords for a little while. So it fits that style, but then I can also do things that are a little bit more intricate that follow the guitars and complement everything really well. And yeah, so it just depends on the style of song that really.
I think it's interesting, like that is definitely an element of math rock drumming, is kind of following things up. But then how much you do it kind of differs the song. So if you follow, the guitar parts almost like note for note, it becomes a very kind of spazzy kind of drum style. But if you just follow a little bit and then add your own groove in there, you get a little bit more of a melodic feel, a bit more of a poppy feel in it as well.
Exactly.
Like the drummer from Toe, I always think of as a really good example of
he's fantastic.
math rock drumming.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's following parts, but then occasionally he's just doing his own thing, and he kind of is the counterpoint of the band as well in some ways. So yeah,
that's I really love the drummer from Tiny Moving Parts. Like he's, I mean, they're also like, I'd say more similar to like the kind of music that we play, like a lot of like choruses and like chords that they're playing, but they also have intricate parts. But the drummer kind of keeps things a little bit more simple, I would say. But it's perfect for that style, and I love it. Yeah, he's just a solid drummer.
I cannot wait for their new album, and that's
for sure
in a few days' time. So
yeah,
looking forward to that.
Yes,
these fanboys over here.
Hopefully that answers the question a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a good. Thanks. Yeah, that's good. So if anyone has any last questions, if not, we'll wrap it up and say our goodbyes and enjoy our weekend.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. What's everyone got planned for the weekend then?
I'm so like in Korea, or I don't live in Korea, in Vietnam. I also play music. I am a professional musician, I guess. And so tomorrow I will be playing a gig at the beach. So hopefully it won't rain, and just
that sounds terrible. Joel.
Have a few beers, play some new wave music.
Wouldn't want to be. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna send some videos to Steve from the tour, as I have a bunch from like the GoPro and stuff. So
yeah, I think that's the thing we said. We have a lot of video and extra things from the tour that's going to go up on Steve's channel, I guess. But slowly, you'll be able to see as well as see as well as hear things. Yeah. No, Korea's got a massive typhoon.
Oh, typhoon's coming tomorrow.
We'll be indoors all tomorrow.
Yeah, Typhoon Ling Ling. Yeah. So yeah, we gotta be indoors
Oh, we need a bit of
and
rest
just
from
play tennis.
last weekend.
True. Have a nice in weekend. Drink some tea. Watch some
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
That's what all British people
Is that what you think British people do?
That's just
Yeah.
that's just what I like to do. I'm just projecting onto you guys. That's what I think you should be doing.
do. What you think?
No. I think instead, Lord of the Rings and some hard cocaine. The American
Yes.
way.
Yes, that's exactly.
Yeah,
That's that's what we do on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
just the American way. That's what I know.
All right then. So
Yeah.
we'll
Okay.
have
Yeah,
a
let's
vlog,
sign it off.
tour vlog video coming soon. So stay tuned for that. You'll be able to see
Yeah.
everything. And
And a playthrough video from Ali that should be up.
yeah, when I tab it out.
So
I will
at some
do
point,
this.
yeah. And if anyone wants to see any
Yeah.
more playthrough videos, just holler. I can
Yeah, on the
Can
drums. Yeah, sure.
do that as well.
Just drop a comment down below, because
Yeah.
this chat will go away soon. So
Cool.
yeah, so thanks for joining us. And thanks for joining Ali and Joel.
Yeah, of course. Anytime.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm thinking, trying to make the stream a regular thing. So if you guys want to join in, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm trying to think of a better time, because this time doesn't seem also that good for most people. So we'll see. Well, it's a Friday morning, isn't it? So people are going to work, I guess. So,
True.
so weekend morning's probably better. So
Yeah,
see.
they can do it.
Yeah, that's the only thing about the time difference. Sucks for these kind of things, I guess. So.
True.
Anyways, everyone, enjoy your Fridays and enjoy your weekends. And thanks for joining us, and thanks for the questions. And yeah, we'll see you soon. So until then,
Yeah.
have a good weekend, guys. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Stay mathy.
Annyeong.
Stay mathy.